Cheers! Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My morning coffee is very important to me. I know it's cliche to say, but I literally look forward to it every single morning. If you guys follow me on Instagram and TikTok, you know that I put a lot of time, effort, and consideration into creating the perfect morning cup of joe. I honestly, most of the time, like my coffee at home more than I do when I get it at a coffee shop and pay like $8 for it. If your morning coffee is also a sacred experience to you and you're looking for new ideas on how to make it perfect at home, consider this video your full guide. I'm gonna walk you through the different types of coffee that I use, all the equipment that I have, and of course, I'll show you my basic formula for both a hot and an iced latte. All right, let me start by showing you the different equipment that I have. First things first, this is my drink cabinet. So up here we've got our different kinds of coffee. This is our cold brew. This is for French press and pour over. And this one's empty, but occasionally I'll have like a different flavor of just regular grounds in there. And we're gonna be using this for our hot latte today. It's a milk frother and steamer. On this shelf we have our coffee bean grinder. I don't usually buy whole bean coffee, but if I do, we have this to grind it up. This is my little pour over doohickey. I will link everything below. This was gifted to me and I've only used it once so far, but you can put it in your cup or your mug and then put your coffee or tea in there and it seeps. These are all of my plastic and metal straws. The silverware drawer is where I keep all of our glass straws. On this bottom shelf, we have all of my tea. One of my like 4 frothers that I own. It's kind of ridiculous. I also have like some liquid stevia back here and some other little syrups. So that is the drink cabinet. Let me show you my little coffee bar. This is literally an old desk that we no longer use that we just turned into a place for all of our beverages. Easily my most expensive piece of coffee equipment is my Nespresso. Ross got this for me as a birthday gift a few years ago and I gotta say I do love it. My only qualm is that I don't love buying the pods. You can see I literally only have 2 right now. They're pretty pricey. And Ross likes to use them too, so we go through them pretty fast when we do have them. But that is my favorite way to make a latte, is with my Nespresso. This is my kettle. I use this for my pour over and my French press and tea, of course. I'm gonna show you all of my glassware. I do have some glass mugs, but these are all of my just like fun cutesy mugs. It's looking pretty barren right now, but this is where I put all of my Nespresso pods when I do have them. This is my other favorite thing over here, my little syrup, Lazy Susan, and I have little pumps for most of them too. Frother number 2. We are a big drink family, so we have an entire mini fridge over here. And if we look inside, this is where we keep our cold brew. I've showed this to you guys before. I will link below the cold brew that we love to use. And then I do keep a few other things on top of the mini fridge here. These are all of my instant coffees. Currently, I've been really into the Nescafe Gold. We'll probably use this today for our iced latte. I also have some decaf grounds for when I'm in the mood for an afternoon coffee. I have a few of my Peak matcha packets left. I don't do a whole lot of matcha, but I would like to get more into it. And then these are the jars that I use for my espresso shots. These are all recycled petite pots, which is like a really delicious custard, like a French dessert you can get at the grocery store. They all come in these glass cups, and so I've just saved them all. This is the glassware shelf. There's usually a ton more mason jars, but I just did some canning and so they're all being used for their actual purpose right now. Up here I have most of our like cocktail cups, like our mule mugs, margarita glasses, shot glasses. This goes on a mason jar, so you can turn your mason jar into a shaker bottle. I got it as a gift. It's very cool. Like I said, this shelf is usually full of tons more mason jars. They're all just being used right now. I also have my stemless wine glasses, which I do occasionally enjoy making iced coffee in. These are my cups that have the bamboo lid and glass straw. Oh shocker, another frother. Does anyone else have an obsession with saving jars from like pasta sauce? I have a Cafe Bustelo one as well. Oh, and another like mini Cafe Bustelo one. I just don't want to throw them away. I want to use them for my beverages. These are our glass mugs. Recently thrifted these like whiskey style glasses. I'll use these for iced coffee too though. I got this set of There's 6 of them. One of them is dirty. A set of 6 for like $2. And then these are all of our like pint glasses. Tons of Purdue ones, a Michigan one. Ross drinks out of these primarily. I almost never do. I usually gravitate towards my mason jars and my bamboo guy here. I don't do a lot of coffee to go personally because where am I going? I'm usually at home. And honestly, if I am going out to like run errands or something, that is when I might like to get a coffee from a coffee shop. So I don't drink a lot of coffee in to-go mugs, but I do like this simple modern one a lot because if you push the straw down, it is leak-proof, which is really cool. I have my Contigo for hot coffee. This little guy is fun. I got it at a conference a couple years ago. And then my Premier Protein one, which has seen better days, but I'll use this too for hot or iced. Let's start with the hot latte. We're gonna be using this milk steamer and frother that I have. I love this one because it has different functions. You can do like all foam, you can do part foam. It does a cold foam as well. You can also just heat your liquid without any froth. There are tons of different versions of these out there. But again, I will link mine below if you're interested. I personally like my lattes a little bit sweet. I don't love them overly sweet. In fact, if I do go out to get a coffee, like at a cafe, I usually will ask for it half sweet because I tend to put more than I like. At home though, to get that sweetness, I will either add some syrup with my milk or I will do milk and a little bit of a flavored creamer. Most creamers will also have fat in them and so they get nice and foamy and frothy as well. I really just eyeball how much milk and creamer I do. It depends on if I'm doing a single shot or a double shot of espresso. For my creamer today, we're going with the Trader Joe's non-dairy oat cinnamon bun creamer. While this warms up, let's go brew our espresso. This beeps once it gets to the perfect temperature, so you always know exactly when it's done. So frothy. It's like a little cloud on top. I'm sorry, but Starbucks could never. My iced lattes are very similar. I am gonna make it with a syrup this time, just to show you the difference. And we're also gonna use the Nescafe Gold, so you can see how I use the instant espresso. Milk first. You can use any kind of milk you want. If you're an oat milk person, that's great. If you're an almond milk person, that's cool too. I personally love me some good old dairy. Now, I don't always do this, but sometimes I like to add nut pods. Most varieties of these are unsweetened, so I'm gonna do this and some syrup. What I love about these is they add flavor and creaminess. So this pumpkin spice one is gonna add, obviously, pumpkin spice flavor, but it doesn't have any sweeteners in it. So if you don't like sweet coffee, but you do like flavor, you might love these. These are also dairy free for those of you who don't consume dairy. Like I said, I don't love my coffee super sweet, so I usually do like a half pump to a full pump of syrup, depending how big my coffee is. We're going with this French toast flavor today. Now the Nescafe Gold as well as the Nescafe Iced, I just mix in with my milk, my liquid here. Some instant coffees that I get, like Cafe Bustelo, which is actually my #1 favorite instant coffee. I usually will mix that with water first and like make a shot of espresso and then pour that into my like milk and ice and everything. But this one is super fine, so it just blends right into my milk and my sweeteners and such. They usually say to use about a teaspoon. I use 1.5, if not 2 or 3 usually, because I like the coffee flavor a little bit stronger. And then we froth. This not only incorporates the espresso powder with the milk, but depending how long you froth it, it will also add some foam if you like that. I've recently found a love for crushed ice in my iced lattes. I'm also personally a fan of extra ice, which is another reason why I don't like to get coffee out, because if you get extra ice in your drink at a coffee shop, you get barely any of the actual drink. I'm telling you, I almost always like my at-home coffee better than getting coffee out. And it's not even just that I save money, it's that it tastes exactly how I want it. I am pretty strictly a morning coffee person, and I usually don't have more than 1 or 2 a day. Typically, I will enjoy this while I'm getting some work done, which I'm gonna go do right now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'd love to know in the comments what your favorite way to make coffee at home is. And if you try any of my favorite methods, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm always sharing new coffee creations in my vlogs and full day of eating. And clicking that subscribe button will make you the first to know when I do post a new video.